founder of the See Yourself Grow coaching and consulting firm. As a business growth consultant, an award-winning productivity coach, motivational speaker, and chief operating officer for small businesses, Tina helps business owners develop their businesses growth strategy plans by using a personalized growth model that she creates with her clients. All right, so let's welcome Tina Colora to discuss about trends in consumer behavior. So for now, let me just unshare my screen so that Tina can share her screen, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much, Rai, for that lovely introduction. Before we begin, can I ask for everyone to introduce themselves, either by talking or in the chat? I'd love to know a little bit more about you and your business. So Barry, I see you unmuted yourself. So would you like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. My name is Barry Evans. I'm a teacher. I do graphic design as well as photography. I can do printing as well. I work with small businesses as well. Some of them in the rural business doing their door signs and other little printing stuff for them. I work with a lot of schools doing sports, creating yearbooks. So I have a variety of resources as well as I teach after school program as well.
Oh,
So
awesome.
Teaching kids how to do graphic design and photography and business. It's multimedia stuff, things of that nature. I have a degree from San Francisco State in business. I did accounting for like 10 years for small businesses, liquor stores throughout the Bay Area. But my love is photography and graphic design. So I've been doing that for the last 15, 20 years as we speak.
Excellent. Great to meet you and love what you're doing. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Who would like to go next?
All right, so how about the others? Just a brief introduction about yourself, what you do in your life.
In your business?
Or
like I said, you could type it in the chat if you're not comfortable speaking.
Yeah, that would also work, Tina.
Okay. What I'm going to do before we begin is I'm going to put my contact information in the chat just to kick us off. And Rai, you've given me sharing capability, I guess. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. Give me one moment while I just bring up my presentation. And one second, I'm just trying to find, there we go. All right. All right. Hi, John. Nice to meet you. All right. So, as Rai had said, so I am the founder and CEO of the See Yourself Grow coaching and consulting firm. So I'll tell you guys a little bit more about myself as the presentation goes on, but feel free to jump in at any time if you have any questions or if you have any thoughts. The first thing I'm going to say to all of you, we need to, as business owners, we need to ensure that we're in alignment with these 6 areas of business, because if you're not, if you're out of alignment with the right way of thinking, right customers, right products, right services, the business won't flourish the way that you are wanting it to flourish. And then the other thing is all about mindset. So as business owners, we have to have the right mindset. So I want to tell you guys, 6 tips to having a great mindset is number 1, to move on quickly. Don't waste time, feeling sorry for yourself. if people aren't ready to jump into business with you. Number two, you need to embrace change as entrepreneurs, as business owners. And during the pandemic, if it taught us anything, we need to be ready to pivot and jump into different ways of thinking and doing business. Number three, always be happy. People want to surround themselves with positive people. I always tell my clients positive thinking equals positive results. I too teach to young kids. So, you know, if we can help instill this message in everyone that we meet, I think the world would be a better place. Number four, be kind, be fair, and don't be afraid to speak up. And then number five, you have to be willing to take calculated risks. And the key word here is calculated. And I think I scare the people around me because I take a lot of risks, and my husband, it freaks him out. So I'm definitely the risk taker, where he is not. But I always reassure him that everything's going to be okay. But if you don't take risks, you'll never know how it's all going to turn out. And then number six, we need to celebrate our successes and the successes of others. All right. The other thing that you want to ensure that you're doing is offering value, right? The value that we give our clients really needs to be extraordinary. So you need to create an offer that sells itself, and it has to slap people in the face and say, yes, I need to work with Rye. Yes, I need to work with Barry. Whatever he's selling, I need that. So your job is to create, obviously, a sense of urgency, so people know that, you know, you could solve their $1 million problem. So I always say to people, if you're in a rut, list out everything that you are great at, all the products, all the services. If you're going through a lull period in your business, and circle, you know, the top three things that you could really start focusing on to take your business to the next level. So that's what I'm going to start off with. And now on to our topic for this evening. So how has customer trends behavior changed during the pandemic and really after the pandemic? And as the world begins to basically slowly pivot from managing during the pandemic, the crisis, and recovering into reopening our economies, it's clear that the period of lockdown has had a profound impact on the way we work, the way we live, the way we learn. So the period of self-isolation, the economic uncertainty, really has changed consumers' behavior. And in some cases, it could continue to change for a few years. Okay, so there's still a lot of uncertainty, and people are still a little weary on, you know, spending and going into business and doing, you know, business with different kinds of people. And I got to tell you, many of the long-term changes in consumer behavior are still being formed, which is great for us business owners because it gives us an opportunity to really shape our businesses and really develop what the new norm is going to turn out to be. So the pandemic really really transformed the consumer life. What should have happened in decades really happened in a year with the adoption of this new digital era. So I think that really forced us to change. I know my mom was freaking out because she didn't do any online banking, but she was forced to rely on me to help her with the online banking. I'll never forget when I was on a project once. I worked for a financial institution for 22 years, and I was responsible for removing the bank book. And so when I told my mom what my project was, she's like, "Are you crazy? Why would you do that?" She's like, "There's so many old people that rely on that book." I'm like, "Yeah, but it doesn't change the fact that your money is still in the bank." But anyway, really the pandemic did speed up this digital era for us. Another behavior change is basically that we're not linear. Like everything is not in line with, you know, a certain way of purchasing or consuming anymore. It really has made things a lot, there's a lot of uncertainty and dependency on satisfaction. People want immediate gratification or immediate satisfaction now because everything is so online and so quick. Amazon made a ton of money during the pandemic, and so did a lot of e-commerce businesses. I think it was like in the trillions, just in, I think it was $27 trillion just in 2020, which blows my mind. But the other thing I want to tell you guys is the future is now. So players like us, like business owners, we should start preparing for consumption decline, shopping experiences for this new reality. We need to identify, what our ideal client or what our consumers, the direction that they're heading in. So I think this is a pivotal moment for us to really, do some self-reflecting and some interviews. I'm always interviewing small business owners to understand how they're thinking, what they're feeling, what's keeping them up at night. So I'll always put out a note on my social media pages looking to interview, small business owners to understand what's working, what's not working, what we can do better. So that might be a good tip for you guys to take away. And behavior changes are really reshaping the journeys that a lot of companies are moving towards.